Hey y'all, it's Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV, here to bring you news and commentary you can use. Listen, y'all, before I get started, I want to take a moment. Today is Sunday, September 11th, and today we mark and commemorate what is the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. So I want to say that my prayers, condolences go out to all of those who were affected by the tragedy that occurred now 21 years ago. I just wanted to say that before I begin. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that your family is doing well. And I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you for your support of the channel. I want to come on and I want to share some information with you. You know, a lot is going on right now in the world that we're living in. A lot of people are, trying to stay encouraged, trying to stay motivated, trying to stay busy, preparing as much as possible. Certainly, people like you and I right here on the channel, we're doing much as we can to prepare, make a plan to protect, provide for, and support our families, our loved ones. So much is going on now, and it doesn't have to be on a worldwide scale. It could be right in your local city. It could be a lot going on in your state right now. And so I want to come on and I want to share some news with you. I mentioned it here on the channel where, let me say this week of September 11th, a lot of eyes, a lot of people are talking about the news that I'm about to share with you. So I want to encourage you, if you have a moment to sit down, maybe you want to grab a cup of coffee or a glass of water or something, sit down. I really want you to pay attention to the information that I'm going to present in this video. No matter what city you live in, what state you live in, what country you live in, certainly if you live in the United States, I feel like this is a very important story that you and I both should know about. Okay, so go ahead and have a seat. Let me share this information with you. So I've talked about this before on the channel. I've talked about the fact that at the time there were talks that a possible railroad strike could happen. And if that were to be the case, the phone almost slipped out of my hand. And if that were the case, how there could be some serious consequences, so to speak, that may come out of such a strike. Well, I want to tell you all that possibility is very, very near. Okay, so I'm going to read an article. This article does come from Reuters. The news source Reuters. It's a tongue twister, y'all. Reuters. Okay. The way you spell it is Reuters. Okay, I've referred to them before right here on the channel. But the title of the article says the U.S. freight railroads prepare for a potential strike disruption that could come as soon as this week. All right, so let me go ahead and get into the story, y'all. Now, according to this news article, okay, it says major U.S. freight railroads said on Friday, this past Friday, they were preparing for a possible strike and service disruption a week before a deadline in protracted labor talks. Okay, I've shared with you all before how the railroad workers and their union, they were trying to reach negotiations. Of course, railroad workers, they want to earn what they feel like is fair pay, better working conditions, as many people do across the United States, as many employees do across the United States and other parts of the world. They want to earn what they feel like is fair to them, better working conditions. Okay, and for whatever reason, they haven't been able to come to some type of mutual agreement. Okay, so stick around. Now, you may say, Andrea, I'm not worried about the railroad system. Why should I be concerned about this story? And I want to tell you, okay, you need to be concerned about this. You and I both need to be concerned about this because believe it or not, we rely as a country, as the United States, we rely on the rail system more than to transport items such as fertilizer, food items, different things like that, okay? And maybe even some of the products and goods that you see in your local stores, in your local area, wherever you live at. So please pay attention. I want you to listen to what I'm sharing with you and think about, what do I need to do today? Okay, if the railroad system were to go down this week, what do I need to do this day? Or if it's being said that it's possible the railroad system may go down this week, what do I need to do right now today? What are some things that I would need in my home if I was stuck in my home for whatever reason, or the store shut down because they didn't have what they needed? What do I need to get today in order to prepare for what may possibly come? So listen, y'all, stick around. I'm going to talk more about it. Okay, now BNSF, who is owned by Berkshire Hathaway and CSX, CSX said they were taking necessary steps to secure the shipments, listen to this, y'all, of hazardous and security sensitive materials. I wonder what they mean by that, security sensitive materials, in the event of a strike. Okay, now BNSF said while these preparations are necessary, it does not mean that a work stoppage is inevitable. Okay, they said that in a statement to Reuters. All right, now contract negotiations, the article says, between railroads including BNSF, Union Pacific, and CSX, and unions representing, listen to this, y'all, they represent 115,000 workers, hit an impasse this summer after more than 2 years of talks. So this is not something that they just all of a sudden said, hey, we need to talk about this. They've been talking about this now for 2 years, y'all. Okay, failure to reach a settlement before a cooling off period expires on September 16th. Now, y'all, I looked at the calendar. September 16th is this week, right? Let me see. Sunday, that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Is that Friday? I believe September 16th is on a Friday. Y'all let me know if I'm right or wrong. I think that's on a Friday. So this week, as soon as this week, y'all, this, if settlements aren't reached or agreement isn't reached, as soon as Friday, all of this could, just hit the fan. Okay. All right. So again, let me read the sentence. It says, failure to reach a settlement before a cooling off period on September 16th could open the door to strikes, employer lockouts, and congressional intervention. Okay. Now, talks are, the article says, and I quote, active and ongoing, a spokesperson for the Association of American Railroads said on Friday. Union Pacific and Railroad Workers United did not immediately respond to requests for comment outside business hours. Okay. Last month, President Biden appointed a presidential emergency board that made settlement recommendations to help avoid disruptions to food and fuel supplies and worsening inflation. Okay. Remember I told y'all, on the railroad system, they transport food items, maybe, for example, wheat, your grains. They transport maybe fertilizer items to farmers. Think about this, y'all. Think about the effect that this may have on our current food supply. Okay, listen to this, y'all. I'm going to repeat it again. The food supply. Okay, listen, y'all. Last month, President Joe Biden appointed a presidential emergency board that made settlement recommendations to help avoid disruptions to food and fuel supplies and worsening inflation. Y'all, don't let the fact, and I've said this before, do not let the fact that gas prices have gone down. Y'all, I got some gas on Saturday morning, I believe, yesterday morning. $2.88 a gallon is what I paid at a Sam's Club in the city that I was in. $2.88 a gallon. Now, I'm smart enough to know, right? And I believe that you're smart enough to know this as well. Or, we should not let the fact that gas prices being lower confuse us and make us think that the economy is getting better, everything is fine. I'm telling y'all, if this railroad strike occurs, okay, if they don't reach, agreements and they go on strike, we are going to see this hit our pockets pretty hard. Whether it's soaring prices, not being able to find what we need, or for the things that are in low supply, it's gonna cost a lot more. Listen to this, y'all. I'm gonna say it again. All right, so the president appointed a presidential emergency board that made settlement recommendations to help avoid disruptions to food and fuel supplies and worsening inflation. Okay, BNSF said the remaining unions and other railroads continue to work to reach voluntary agreements based on the board's recommendations to avoid interruption to rail service. The largest U.S. trucking industry group on Friday urged Congress to be prepared to prevent railroad shutdowns if the negotiations fail to produce contracts by the deadline. Okay, here's a quote by Chris Spear, who is the chief executive of the American Trucking Associations, or ATA, who said, and I quote, "Congress should take swift action to avoid a debilitating and unnecessary labor disruption that could cost the country billions each day." Okay, he wrote that in a letter to congressional leadership. Now, the article goes on to say that in the early 1990s, Congress required the two sides to engage in final and binding arbitration to prevent disruptions to shipping activities. Okay, unions, the article says, unions in freight railroads have so far reached tentative agreements that cover 21,000 workers, represented by 5 of the 12 unions involved in the negotiations. Okay, a railroad work stoppage. Listen to this, y'all. All right, here's where some money comes into play, right? Okay, the article says a railroad work stoppage could cost the U.S. economy $2 billion per day. Y'all didn't hear me. A railroad work stoppage. Okay, if they have to stop and shut down the railroad system, right? The article says a railroad stoppage would cost the U.S. economy $2 billion per day in output, and require, listen to this, y'all, and require 467,000 long-haul trucks daily to handle shipments diverted from rail exceeding supply. That's according to the Railroad Association. So $2 billion per day. Where do you think that money is going to come from? It's going to be paid by taxpayers such as you and I. You know, we're already sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, to help them. Some people agree with it. Some people disagree. So, again, if the railroad strike begins as soon as this week, it's going to cost us, the American people, American taxpayers, $2 billion per day. And also, it's going to require 467,000 long-haul trucks daily to handle shipments diverted from rail exceeding supply. Are there enough truck drivers, qualified truck drivers? Are there enough trucks to meet this type of demand? I don't know, y'all. It may not be. The supply chain, you all know I've covered the supply chain crisis extensively. As a matter of fact, I was talking about the supply chain crisis at a time when it wasn't even headline front page news. I gave a warning last year that a supply chain crisis was coming. So if the supply chain crisis is already in a mess, what do you think a railroad strike is going to do? You think it's going to make it any better? I'm telling you, you're in for a rude awakening if you think so. Now, here's a quote from ATA's Spears, who said the same, I read his quote. He also said additional insecurity placed on the still fragile U.S. supply chain I just said this, y'all. Our supply chain is still messed up to this day. A railroad strike is going to further just make it even more of a mess. So here's a quote again by Expires, who said, additional insecurity placed on the still fragile U.S. supply chain as we recover from the pandemic and other supply chain stressors and move towards the holiday season. Okay, a lot of stores are ramping up. Stores, business owners, small business owners, they're starting to order products, months ahead now because the holiday season is approaching. Shipping rates are going up in anticipation of the holiday season. So you have all of these things going on. Okay, you see how it's almost like we're in the eye of the storm, right? Everything seems calm. Some people may be fooled by gas prices being lower. It appears like you have enough food in your local store, maybe not. Everything seems fine. But little do you know, okay, all of these things are going on that are just creating a storm. And right now you're in the eye of it. And you don't even know it. You don't even realize it. I don't think a lot of people know. Maybe some have. I don't think that I have ever lived through a railroad strike. I could be wrong. Maybe these things were going on. Maybe I was younger and just didn't know about it. But I don't know a specific date in history, but I can't say that I've ever lived through a railroad strike that could be of such magnitude as this one. You all let me know, has there ever been a railroad strike in our modern history where it just really crippled our economy like the one that may be coming? You all let me know. I can't say that I have ever lived through something like this. I hope not. But I don't think many people know the dire consequences that we could all be facing. A lot of times people are labeled conspiracy theorists, or you don't know what you're talking about. They're just making up things, trying to scare people. But everything I'm reporting is factual. You can do a search on this. You can do an internet search and find this out. I'm not making this up. Why would I need to make this up? If anything, I'm sharing this with you so that you can get prepared and help your family. Help yourself, help your family, loved ones, people you care about. Let me read this quote, y'all. So again, Expires said, additional insecurity placed on the still fragile U.S. supply chain as we recover from the pandemic and other supply chain stressors and move towards the holiday season. All of these things are coming up. He said, will harm the economy at large and individual Americans. I want y'all to think about this. What type of an effect do you think a railroad strike would have on our economy? I just typed in, I just did a quick search, railroad strike or railroad strike 2022. Here's another article that came up in Yahoo. It says how a railroad strike could send food prices soaring. Now, I don't think I'm talking to anyone new here when I say that, food prices are just beyond, just almost out of control, right? Let me not say that because it could be worse, right? But what I'm saying is we are paying way more now for food items than we were paying maybe weeks ago, even a year ago, right? We're paying much, much more today. But I want to read this article here. Let me see if I can get it pulled up. All right, give me just a minute, y'all. While I'm doing this, please leave me some feedback in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the topic. If you have any insight on this topic that you would like to share, please make sure that you like the video, leave a comment. Share this video with your family members and friends. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and subscribe. Join our community here. A lot of you, many of you, my subscribers, my supporters, you always share good insight, good feedback in the comments. I encourage you all to read over them. And you all can even, talk to each other. I don't think I have to tell you that. You all can talk and ask questions in the comments. I certainly learned a lot from you all, so I want to say thank you for your support. But if you have not already subscribed to the channel, I do want to invite you to subscribe. That way you can stay updated and informed whenever I do upload new content every week. Okay. All right. So I may have to reload the page. I just happen to be on my laptop. So let me see if I can get it to come up. So again, this is an article from Yahoo News, and it talks about how food prices could soar if this railroad strike was implemented. Okay, I'm gonna try to get the article to load up, but if not, I would just encourage you to do your research on that. Let me see if I can get it to come up. But you all listen, nonetheless, make sure if it's something that you need now, if you look in your pantry, you look in your refrigerator, you just look at your house, and you know today, if there was some type of crisis that would happen today, and you look in your pantry, your refrigerator, and you don't have enough food, you don't have your emergency food supply, that should include water. Okay, I'm gonna keep saying this, y'all. You may say, Andrea, you keep talking about water, you keep talking about emergency food. I'm not gonna stop talking about it, because I know and I understand how serious we're living in very unusual times. All of these different things are happening, and now more than ever we need to be prepared. So please make sure if it's something that you need, that you feel like is essential for you and your household, get it now if you haven't already gotten it, because like I even said before, today's prices may not be tomorrow's prices. Get the things that you need, emergency food supply. Please make sure you get enough water. Okay, a lot of things are happening all around the country and the world concerning water. I covered the Jackson, Mississippi water crisis. I believe even to this day right now, these people, things have not gotten back to normal. A lot of people are still having problems with access to clean water. Okay, and that's a problem. Everyone should have access to clean water. For some reason the article is not loading up. I don't know if something is wrong with my connection here, but I want you all to do your research. This is an opportunity for you to do your research, find out more. Don't just take my word for it. This is a story that many people have their eyes on this week, but at the same time, not only are we sitting waiting to hear what becomes of this situation, we're taking action now. We've been taking action, and we're getting the things that we need so that our families will be taken care of. Okay. All right, y'all. So I got several things to do today. I'll be uploading more videos. One of my next videos, I'm going to be telling you all about the fact that you need to be prepared in the event your power is planned to be out. Y'all didn't hear me. That went over somebody's head. In one of my next videos, I'm going to be talking to you about how you need to plan for your power to be out. Yes, all across the U.S., there are planned power outages going on. And it's being said in the news. Okay, it may not be front page news, but planned power outages are going on. Okay, make sure you have your backup energy supplies, whether that's solar power. I've talked about solar power here. Maybe some of y'all have a gas generator. Please do your research. Be careful with gas generators, okay? With any generator, because it's still a form of electricity, right? So please, you're dealing with electrical things. So please do your research. Know exactly what you're doing. We got to get prepared, y'all. We got to get prepared. We got to get prepared, okay? Hello? We got to get prepared. I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying this to be serious. We got to get prepared now more than ever. Things are happening. Things are changing every single day. Make sure you have what you need so that you and your family can be prepared you can provide for them, and you can sustain and thrive through the times that we're living in. I hope I've shared many points that can get you to thinking, maybe to cause you to take action. Please, please, please do it now. Thank y'all, and I'll see you again right here on another video on Andrea Speaks TV. Y'all take care.